Hey everyone, I need your attention for 1 minute. This is not one of those ads. This is something that has changed my entire life. If you've been listening to this podcast, you know that this is all about personal development as the foundation for everything good in your life. And this podcast is now sponsored by Growth Day, which is the world's first all-in-one personal development app. I mean, oh my gosh, can you imagine having everything all in one place that you need to create the life that you want? Now you can. So if you've been struggling with your motivation, your mood, your productivity, or your purpose, you have to check this out. Growth Day helps you consciously change your life and achieve your potential. It has all the self-improvement tools, motivational classes, and life coaching all in one place. So many of us want to improve our lives, but the question is how? Where do we start? What do we use? How do you get unstuck? How do you make self-improvement stick? Well, research shows how. It's when you consistently journal, track your habits, set goals, learn from empowering mentors, and challenge yourself that you'll be happier, healthier, and more successful. But let me ask you something. Where do you actually do all of your personal development work? I have to tell you that over 300,000 people use Growth Day for a reason. It works. It's the world's #1 software for self-improvement. Growth Day has an amazing mindset journal that I absolutely love, a habit tracker, and a goal-setting system. In fact, I bet if you went to my stories this week, you probably saw me using the journaling app and telling you to do it too, because it's the first time that journaling has ever actually stuck consistently in my life because of this app. And best of all, Growth Day has live inspirational classes every single week from the world's top motivational speakers and life coaches. These are people who have impacted my life in huge ways. These are mentors who I already knew and loved. In fact, this is something that's so huge for me, you guys. I personally teach a class in Growth Day every single month, and it is one of the most fun things that I get to do, and I'd love to see you there. These classes will truly shift your life. There's always something new that you will learn. So join me and 300,000 achievers growing our lives with actual real intention. Visit growthday.com/Lori for a free trial. Yes, you can try this for free. So go to growthday.com/Lori and go live your best life. You guys, that's growthday.com/Lori. And I can't wait to see you there. I just hope that you go and take this advice of making yourself go and do new things. It is the spice of life. If you're feeling bored, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling like you don't have the friends you want, go do the hard things. Go try new things. Go do them with new people, and entire new worlds and networks will open up to you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. It's time for another quickie because there's always time to fit in inspiration. And I am fitting in giving some inspiration right now because I am currently in my car in a parking lot. And I know that you guys have gotten a lot of podcasts from my car, which might be some of the best thinking that I do. But I was sitting in my workspace in Newport Beach, and I had traveled this weekend. We did a bit of a kind of a getaway trip with friends, but also when you go with the right friends, not the right friends, when you go with certain friends, your business friends, it also kind of turns into a mastermind. So it's been pretty back to back. I thought that I did a quickie, found out I didn't. And my podcast manager was like, hey, if you don't get one in now, it's not coming out that day. So the whole point of this is done is better than perfect. If you really want to know what the day-to-day looks like, sometimes it is kind of doing whatever it takes to make it happen. And it's not convenient. And sometimes you don't feel as prepared as you want, but you definitely learn how to just get over the resistance and say, well, this is what's happening. And going back to the weekend, we went to a place called Sundance in Utah. And I didn't actually know Sundance was an actual city. I thought Sundance was just like the film festival. And maybe you're like, duh, but to me, I just hadn't really researched it. And it was kind of cool to learn the whole history of Sundance and the film festival and all of those things and be in that magical energy of creation. Because Robert Redford, the actor, had a vision. He actually went to Sundance because he was going to marry someone who was from there. And when he got there, she ended up breaking his heart and breaking up with him. So instead of getting engaged, he was broken up with. And he was so heartbroken and so devastated and so lost in his life that he was driving around and he ended up being at this mountain and saying, you know what? One day I'm going to buy this mountain and I'm going to change my life. And he ended up doing exactly that. And he bought the mountain and he created this beautiful resort that is now Sundance. And he went on to create this magical place for creators. And it started with his visions, ultimately started with heartbreak. And then he was then thrown into nature and just got so inspired by his surroundings and also wanting to overcome his current situation that he created something that now will live on far after he is around on the planet. And it just set the perfect scene for this group of friends and us to kind of go and just be in nature and think bigger. And I think sometimes the mountains and the ocean do this for me, where it makes you realize that anything is possible. I think you need to go and get outside of your current environment or the one that you're most used to and go and be in bigger surroundings. And I started listening to a book on the way there, Dan Martell's Buy Back Your Time. And I've been listening to it a lot since. I'm almost done with it. But he asked the question, do you spend your time or are you investing your time? And I can tell you that this last weekend was an investment. The time that we spent with those people, the time that we spent in nature, the time that we had that was open, this open space that allows you to get creative. It truly felt like time that I had invested rather than spending. And if you look at your life and the people that you spend your time with or invest your time in, I would really start to have you ask yourself, is this time that I feel like I'm just spending that I'll never get back, that I'm not better for? Or am I investing into these people because I know they'll be in my future, because I know that being in a space with these human beings will only make me better. It will only benefit me. It will only elevate me. And I think that this question really cut through everything for me. You can ask this around the projects that you're doing. You can ask this around the way that you are spending your time at work, who you're spending your time with. And I'll tell you, it gives a little bit too clear of an answer. Do I feel like I've invested my time or do I feel like I've spent my time? So today, I just want you to sit with that question and maybe have that be the lens in which you process everything from. Because even though I was out there and fly fishing and put myself on a helicopter, truly, this was time invested. I learned a new skill with fly fishing. I got to sit and really understand some new people in the way that they think and learn a lot of new things from them. And to me, those are two huge things. So I also want to share a little something about fly fishing. You guys, I can tell you that I was like, okay, I'm going to do this thing and it's going to be new. And yeah, it's always good for me to learn new stuff, but I don't really think I'm going to enjoy it, right? That's why we were invited out there. We were doing fly fishing. And I typically would not say hell yes to fly fishing, but it was about nature and the people and benefit. I'll learn a new thing. If I don't like it, no big deal. It was still freaking amazing. I spent time in nature. So fly fishing is such an art. I had no idea. So I just thought you stood there with your pole and the line out in the water. No. It is a very, very active sport and it is an art. There is so much skill to fly fishing. I had no idea. So you're actually moving the pole like every 30 to 45 seconds. So the fish swim upstream. So what you have to do is you have to cast that line. And what happens is the river takes your line downstream fairly quickly. So you have to recast because by the time you get to the end of your pole, what happens is the fish are no longer going to be biting on your particular bait. So every 30 to 45 seconds, you're recasting back upstream in order to catch these fish. So not only that, it being very, very active where you're kind of learning how to cast better and better and better and better every single time. Sometimes you're getting stuck on rocks and you learn where not to get stuck anymore. But it also depends what the fish are eating, what they're biting on, and what levels they're biting at. And this was so interesting to me. So our particular guide with fly fishing ended up, once we caught a fish, he's like, "Okay, we're going to get even better at this. We're going to catch more fish." And I was like, "Okay, how do we do that?" And he took like a syringe, and this is going to get intense, guys. He put it down the fish's throat and sucked out what was in their stomach. Now, this does not harm the fish. They're totally fine. It literally just takes whatever they just swallowed and you get to see it. So he squirts this thing out into his hand and it's like a ton of bugs. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea they ate that many bugs. And he's like, they are eating constantly because the bugs are so small. They have to eat so much. Like literally, they're constantly all day long just looking for food. So there was probably, 100 bugs in there. And what the fly fisherman does is he looks at what bugs they're eating and knows what fly to put on the rod. Now, I had no idea what fly to put on the rod, but he knows which ones will look the most like it to make the fish bite. And then it's a matter of knowing if they're high, knowing if they're low, and through the bugs they're eating, he says he understands, like, are they eating more towards the bottom, towards the middle, towards the top? Okay, fascinating, right? Like, I just thought we were out there throwing our lines in and catching fish. No, it changes with the temperature of the water, what they're eating. It changes with the season, what they're eating. It was like literally mind blowing. So then I asked the question, okay, where do these bugs come from? Do they fall out of the sky? And then like they're the drowning bugs? Sounds like a really stupid question, right? But I'm like, are we talking about bugs like from the air? Because that's what they look like. And he's like, okay, you just opened up Pandora's box. And he picked up a rock and flipped it over. And he's like, there are all of these bugs that live underneath these rocks, and this is essentially what they're eating. Sometimes these bugs float, sometimes they float in the water, sometimes they get them from down below. Like they're eating these bugs that live under these rocks. Now, it gets even crazier. These particular bugs live for about 4 years under the water, under the rocks. And after the 4 years, they have one day, like they essentially know when they're going to die because they take that one day and they fly up out of the water. Essentially, they are like little worms that then all of a sudden turn into bugs that can fly in the air. So they go from being water creatures to land creatures that only live on land for one day. And they go and they drop their eggs on land. So they sprout wings, drop their eggs on land, and then they die 24 to 48 hours after that. So it's like one day on land and then they die. Okay, this was your fly fishing lesson. I literally had to share this because this is what I learned just by going and doing something new. And by going and doing something new and investing my time into something new, there's no way that you can lose because now I have this incredible perspective of number one, just such a respect for people who do this. Number two, understanding how incredibly important it is for us to go and learn new things. And number three, the fact that whole worlds will open up to you that are fascinating that you did not know existed if you just go get outside of your current situation. So you guys, I'm sending you so much love. I'm so grateful for you. And I just hope that you go and take this advice of making yourself go and do new things. It is the spice of life. If you're feeling bored, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling like you don't have the friends you want, go do the hard things. Like, even though I was excited to go with these people, it's still, at the end of the day, I didn't want to get on the plane. I was like, I'm so introverted sometimes. Sometimes it feels hard to get away. I had such a busy week. I should really just be recharging or catching up. No, that is not the answer. If you're someone who gets stuck in monotony, go do new things, go try new things, go do them with new people, and entire new worlds and networks will open up to you. I am such a better person for doing weekends like this, and I know that you will be too. So I will leave you with this. Chris and I are creating something super epic for you guys. If you don't have a container, if you're not able to create this on your own, Chris and I are creating some incredible experiences for you next year called the Dinner Series. It is 3 different dinners with also a day of learning attached to it. We're inviting in experts, and we're also making sure that you network with each other, that this is your best year of networking yet, and that all of your answers are in these rooms. And did I mention that one of these is actually going to be a gala as well? So you actually get to get dressed up and get the photos and have the incredible dinner, the incredible experience, and have the things that stretch you in the places to go that actually make you up level and the people that help you up level as well. So if you're interested in joining us next year for your best year of networking ever, text the word dinner to 310-421-0416. That's 310-421-0416. And I hope that we get to spend the next year with you just chasing after everything that we all want. Okay, guys, until next time, earn your happy. Want to know a huge secret to my success? Okay, not only my success, but just about every single person that I have interviewed on this podcast who is successful has this in common. You guys, they love to journal. They capture their life lessons and what they're grateful for. But a lot of people don't keep this up consistently, and most people do know that the research shows that journaling deepens your gratitude and increases self-awareness. But did you also know that journaling decreases stress and helps you achieve your goals faster? In fact, journaling is a huge differentiator between average performers at work and high-performing people. It leads to longer-term clarity, confidence, and success. So why don't more people journal? Why didn't I journal consistently? Honestly, they don't like staring at a blank page. It's hard to carry a book around with you or a notepad, and they just don't even know what to write about, or they just forget. That's why I know that you're going to love Growth Day. It's the world's #1 system for self-improvement, and it's like all-in-one personal development in an app. And it has an awesome digital journal, and people love it. Growth Day's digital journal has hundreds of research-backed writing prompts for self-reflection, positive mindset, confidence building, and success. I use them all the time, and it makes me think in ways that I typically don't, and it makes me ask myself better questions, which we all know gets better results in our life. It even has prompts that help you develop a daily, weekly, or monthly habit of reflecting on your life and identifying areas to grow. So it's a perfect time of year to start journaling, you guys. When you sign up at Growth Day, you also get systems for habit tracking, goal setting, and scoring, and improving every area of your life. Best of all, I get to teach there too, you guys. I'm so excited. I hope that I get to see you. I teach live in Growth Day every single month with a new topic just for you. So join me there. Start your free trial at growthday.com/Lori. Hey, do you know what the big secret is this year? And it shouldn't be a secret because this should be your biggest focus. It is building your community. I am always working on building and nurturing my community, and everyone is talking about the power of community. Without an online community, you just cannot grow organically or create a real movement, which is what I know that we're all after. And you can build trust or monetize your audience. When you get community right, not only does your audience grow faster, but so do your sales. But where's everybody going to be managing their communities these days? And a lot of online entrepreneurs and thought leaders are turning to Circle.so. Circle is an all-in-one community platform. It lets you host content and create discussions, live streams, group chats, and memberships all under your own brand. And what's so cool about Circle.so is that you don't even need a website or Facebook group. Instead, Circle lets you build your own community site where you can host content and manage your members. You can even create locked and unlocked content spaces, groups, and classes. How freaking cool is that? You can put your content behind a a paywall too, and you can charge different amounts of money for different spaces on your community site. Circle.so is famously easy to use, and it has a free 14-day trial for you, so you can go check it out, see if you like it, see if you love all the options. Just go to circle.so. Go check it out right now, you guys. Imagine being able to manage your community, start group chats and live classes, and accept payments all in one place. Kind of mind-blowing, since this is usually spread all over the place. You have to log into so many different things. If this is the year to capture, organize, and monetize your community, head over to circle.so. You can get a free trial and start building your online community right now. Just go to circle.so. You guys, you get the 14-day free trial. So just go and see if it's for you. It's going to streamline everything and make your life so much easier. It's so freaking cool.